think I'll end the meeting and start again. There seems to be some issue. I don't know what is the issue. I will end the meeting and start again. Please bear with me. No, basically why? Okay. Om Shuklam Baradaram Vishnum Sashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanna Dhyayet Sarva Vigno Pashantaye Dorbirukta Chaturbir Spatikamanimai Makshamalam Dadhana Haste Naikena Padmam Sitamapi Shukam Pustakam Chaparena Basa Kunde Dushanka Spatikamani Nibha Basamana Samana Same Vagdevateyam Nivasatu Vadane Sarvada Suprasanna Kujantam Rama Rameti Maduram Maduraksharam Aruhya Kavita Shakam Vande Valmiki Kokilam Valmikir Munisimhasya Kavita Vanacharinaha Shinvan Rama Katanadam Konayati Paramgatim Goshpati Kritavarashim Mashaki Kritarakshasam Ramayana Mahamalaratnam Vande Nilatmajam Yatra Yatra Raghunatha Kirtanam Tatra Tatra Kritamastakанjalim Pashpavari Paripurna Lochanam Marutim Namatarakshasantakam Vaidehi Sahitam Suradrumatale Haime Mahamandape Madhye Pushpakamasane Manimaye Virasane Sustitam Agre Vacheti Prapanjana Sute Tatvam Munibhyaparam Yakhyantam Bharatati Viparivritam Ramam Bhaje Shamalam Namostu Ramaya Salakshmanaya Devyai Chatasyai Janakatmajaye Namostu Rudrendra Yamanilebhyo Namostu Chandrarka Marutkanebhyah Hari Om. Okay, so last week we stopped at a point where after being tied by Brahmastra and of course by the other, thread and all that, rope and all that, Hanuman was brought to the court of Ravana. And Hanuman, of course, we saw the 49th Sarga, 20 shlokas in which Hanuman was quite stunned by seeing Ravana. Aho Viryam, Aho the Dhairyam, Aho Sarvala Lakshana Lakshan, Sampannaha, like that. There are these shlokas where he really was awestruck by the majesty of Ravana. But finally he ended by saying, if only this Ravana had some sense of dharma, he would have been protecting the three lokas and Indra also. That opportunity he lost. Then of course, when Ravana asked him through Prahasta, who are you and so on, then Hanuman advised to Ravana that what he is doing is not correct, which angers Ravana. And Ravana ordered killing him, and of course Vibhishana came in and said that killing is not proper and so on. We ended by saying that when Hanuman's tail was lit with fire and he was dragged through the streets of Lanka, and when he was left at the gate of Lanka, Hanuman came back once again and lit the entire Lanka into flames. Then, of course, he went to the mountain, finally to sort of quench his fire, and he was about to depart. I mean, we had seen up to that. So we will continue from there, and today we have a very important sarga which follows that, in which Valmiki gives a very important message to us, which is very, very important and crucial. So we will see that, start with that sarga. So 55th sarga of Sundarakandam. So after he reached the, the ocean, and he quenched his fire, then he realized, what mistake did I do? Because he quenched the entire, he lit the entire Lanka in fire. So he realized that it was a foolish act. Out of anger he has done, because Sita is also burnt. Obviously she is in that place only. So the first 11 verses, Hanuman fears that he has burnt Sita also in the process of lighting the fire in the fist of anger. I think there is a typos here. Okay, sorry. I think I should correct it then and there. Process of lighting. Otherwise, they remain ever like that. Then the next 10 shlokas, Hanuman regrets deeply, because then he thinks, if Sita Mata is burnt, then he thinks, he goes back and thinking, no, what will I go and say to Rama and Lakshmana? What will happen to all our efforts? What will Sugriva do? That same set of thought which he had sometime earlier. So he again regrets deeply on thinking about the consequences of all of this act that he has done. Then he starts thinking, perhaps Sita is safe, because Sita Mata's chastity is such that she will not be affected. He thinks perhaps there is a possibility like that on account of her greatness. And as he was thinking about it, he overheard two charanas who were sort of going on the sky, and they were remarking. So they said, look at here, the whole of Lanka is burned, but Sita Mata is left. She is left untouched. So Hanuman overhears that conversation, and he feels little satisfied that on account of his foolish act, he has not done great damage. So that is this sargam. So in this sarga, there are some shlokas on anger, which this is again the trademark of Valmiki, which I have been saying again and again. Whenever there is a possibility, Valmiki will actually bring the Lokaniti, and he will try to, use that context to tell us a few ideas. So there are 3-4 shlokas on anger, and they are very important shlokas. So I thought I will bring those shlokas from this chapter. So let's look at these shlokas. Danyaste purushas sreshtaha ye buddhya kopamuttitam nirundanti mahatmanaha deeptamagnimivambasa. Danyaha te purushas sreshtaha. They are indeed Purushanam Sreshtaha, Purushas Sreshtaha. They are indeed the best of the Purushas. And Danyahate, they are the blessed ones. Who, ye, such people, the ye is such of those, Buddhya, using that Buddhi, Kopam Uttitam Nirundanti, ye Mahatmanaha, such people who are able to use their buddhi, use their presence of mind and buddhi, and nirundanti. Nirundanti is put off. Anala is actually, nirundanti is putting off the flame. Deeptam agni iva ambasa. Just like when there is a raging fire, when fire accidents happen, fire engines go, 4 5 of them go. So they have the hose, and then they take the hose and they quench the fire by throwing water. So deeptam agnim iva ambasa uttitam kopam nirundanti mahatmanah ye buddhaya te danyaha purusha sreshtaha. They are indeed the best of the people, because just like we use water and put off fire, the same way they use their buddhi. So buddhi is the upama. The water and buddhi are the upama equivalences, and kopa is the agni. Deeptam agnim iva ambasa nirundanti. So this is the first thing that Valmiki says. Then there are 3 shlokas which says what happens when we have anger. In the fist of anger, what are all the things that we will do? So nicely he has brought it in about 3 shlokas. Kruddha papam na kuryat kaha kruddho hanyat gurunapi kruddha parushaya vacha narasadhuna dikshipet. Kruddha papam na kuryat. Don't you think that a person in anger, in the fist of anger, will end up doing some papa? Kruddha papam na kuryat. Kaha kruddha papam na kuryat. You can take it like that also. Kaha kruddha papam na kuryat. Which angry person will not do any sinful acts in the fist of anger? That is the first thing. Then it says, kruddha hanyat gurunapi. In the fist of anger, an angry fellow may even kill his guru. Guru indicates guru. Guru indicates father also. So guru has all these meanings. So kruddha hanyat gurunapi, parents also. So kruddha hanyat gurunapi. This is what anger will do. Then kruddha parushaya vacha. Parusha is harsh. Parushaya vacha, by harsh words, right? Narasadun, sadhu naraha, good people, respectable, very nice, good people. Narasadun adhikshipet. Kship is to throw. Adhikshipet is throws wrong words, hard words at them. Very harsh words, inappropriate words, insults, disrespectful words. They're all thrown at very respectful elderly people and sages and so on. So this is what anger can do, is what Valmiki says. Kruddha papam na kuryat kaha, kruddha hanyat gurunapi, kruddha parushaya vacha narasadhun adhikshipet. Then vachya vachyam prakupitaha na vijanati karhichit na karyamasti kruddhasya na vachyam vidyate kochit. Vachya avachyam, vachya vachyam, vachya avachyam prakupitaha na vijanati karhichit. Vachyam is what should be told. Avachyam is what should not be told. See, when in the fist of anger, the first thing that happens is we cross the limits of civility. We just cross our limits and our tongue gets so sharp. We tell things which normally we know we should not say. So that's why vachya avachyam na vijanati prakupitaha karhichit kadachit. At any point in time, right, he cannot differentiate in the fist of anger. He cannot differentiate between what is appropriate to say, to whom. In fact, appropriateness is in terms of time, subject, choice of words, to whom we should say, how we would say everything included. So all those go for a toss in anger. So vachya avachyam prakupitaha na vijana vijanati karhichit. Then he says, na karyam, na akaryam, na karyam, na akaryam asti kruddasya. There is nothing like this should not be done. He will do anything. This list of this is akarya, should not be done. This is only karya, this has to be done. That sense of discrimination will be lost, because that is what anger does. So, na akaryamasti kruddasya. There is no banned list of things to do. Everything he will do, because he has lost that discrimination. He or she has lost that discrimination. Then he says, na avachyam, it says, na avachyam. Again, there is a savarna dirgha. Na avachyam, na avachyam. Just like na karyam. Na akaryam, na karyam. In the same way, na avachyam, na avachyam. Navachyam vidyate kochite. There is nothing like this should not be told. Such a thing is also gone. That list is empty now. We don't say, oh, these kind of words should not be used. This kind of utterances are taboo. That list is empty now, because he has become, he is in the fist of anger. So that's what here Valmiki says. Vachya vachyam prakupitaha na vijanati karhichit na karyamasti kruddasya navachyam vidyate kvachit. So there is everything is lost for that person. Then yasamutpatitam krodam kshamayaiva nirasyati yato ragas tvacham jirnam savai purusha uchyate. We'll do a little padacheda here, then it becomes clear. Yaha samyak, sam utpatitam, samutpatitam. Sam is a visarga. Sam means samyak. Very well. Utpatitam means popping up. Samutpatitam krodam. Yaha samutpatitam krodam. Right? Kshamayaiva nirasyati. Kshamayayeva kshamayaiva. Kshamayayeva kshamayaiva. Yata uraga tvacha. Uraga is snake. Tvacha is tvak. Tvak means skin. So tvacham uragas. Yata uragas tvacham. Just like the snake of the skin. Jirnam savai purusha uchyate. Yata uragas tvacham jirnam nirasyati. Right? Nirasyati is common for both. Saha vai, he indeed, vai is indeed. Saha vai purushaha uchyate. He is indeed called purusha. Purusha means a person of, not necessarily man. You know, it is translated there. A person of high character. Yaha samutpatitam krodam kshamaya eva nirasyati. One who is able to, this anger which pops up, that he is able to put it off or cast it aside, right? Using kshama. That's why the dhamma and kshama are very important. Kshamaya eva nirasyati yata uragastvacham jirnam. Just like the snake, what it does is it keeps changing its skin. You know, it drops off the old skin, right? That we have seen actually. Sometimes you will find the snake skin on the, on the side. Basically, the snake has peeled off its old skin because it is jirna. So in the same way, in the same manner, if a person is able to use kshama and put off this, just cast aside this anger, sahavai purushaha uchyate. He is a person of character. So these 4 shlokas, Valmiki uses this opportunity of Hanuman lighting the whole Lanka, and he makes use of that opportunity to bring these shlokas, this lokaniti, that be careful about anger. Anger is a very bad thing. Now, I wanted to, give you some more references here, because this is one thing which has been extensively talked about, extensively quoted, discussed, referenced, all that in many places. Let's first go to Bhagavad Gita, because that's our reference always. Bhagavad Gita is enough. That one thing is enough for us. That will have everything. So if you look at Bhagavad Gita, I made a search in Bhagavad Gita. I found there are 13 places where Krodha has come. In the entire 700 shlokas, there are 13 references in which the word Krodha has come, and roughly equal, means 6 of them it has brought in one sense, and the remaining 7 of them it has brought exactly in the opposite sense. So Sri Krishna has talked about Krodha 13 times. So we will quickly look at it, because this is an opportunity for us to connect it to what we read in Gita also. Oh, there is some more. Okay, then we will wait for it. Some more Hanuman has. Ishat karyamidam karyam kritamasina samshayah tasya krodha vibhutena maya mulakshaya kritaha. Ishat karyam idam karyam kritam asit na samshayah. That is a padacheda. Tasya krodha abhibhutena maya mulakshayah kritaha. See here, before we get into the meaning, I want to tell you a point of grammar in Sanskrit. Since we are seeing so much of Sanskrit shlokas, let me also, pass on some Sanskrit jnana to you. See, mulakshayah followed by kritaha. See, when there is a visarga followed by ka or kha, alpaprana or mahapana, ka, both of them. Okay? When it is followed by ka or kha, in Sanskrit, that sound has to be done slightly differently. There should be, there is a ha, like a ha kind of a sound should come. I'll recite it, you just see. Maya mula kshayah kritaha. You should say like that. That visarga with this, I think it is called jihva muliya, I think. Or, upadmaniya. There are 2 of them. One is for kakara, another is for pakara, pa and pa. If there is a visarga followed by pa or pa, then we have to use a f sound there. If suppose instead of kritaha, suppose let us say there was pataha here. I'm just taking an example. Then you should have told mulakshayaf if mulakshayaf pataha, like that. In this case, we should say mulakshayah kritaha. One is called jihva muliya, another is called upadmaniya. These are special pronunciation. Anyway, when you do a padacheda, that's okay. Mulakshayah kritaha. So this kaka and papa after visarga has a special pronunciation. Anyway, let it be so. So ishat karyam idam karyam kritam. What is this? This act that I done has become a useless act. It has lost its purushartha. Ishat karyam idam karyam kritam asit na samshayah. There is no doubt. I have taken so much pains, but not only I have taken so much pains. Hanuman is saying we all started after Sugriva sent us. We went all over the place. How much of trouble we made, and personally I took so much trouble. Crossed the ocean and all that. I saw Sita Mata. Finally, I burnt her. What kind of a nonsense I have done? Ishat karyam idam karyam kritamasid na samshayah. Tasya krodha abhibhutena. It all happened because of I got into this momentary anger. When they set fire on my tail, I got very anguished. Tasya krodha abhibhutena maya mulakshayah kritaha. I have destroyed the very root. The root has been cut out by me. This is what happens when we are in the fist of anger. We get into too much anger, we talk all bad things, we may regret about it later, but the damage is done. So maya mulakshayah kritaha. Then he said, Tadaham bhagyarahitaha lubda dharmartha sangrahaha rosha dosha paritatma vyaktam loka vinashanaha. He says, Tat aham bhagyarahitaha. I think with all my fist of anger, I did these wrong things. And I have lost my bhagya. I have lost this, all the good thing that I have. Lupta. Lupta is, lopa is not there. Lupta is one which is lost. Lupta dharma artha sangraha. All that I painstakingly gathered all the way coming from there, talking to Sita Mata, inspiring her, inculcating confidence in her. Everything is gone now. Lupta dharma artha, dharma and artha both are gone. Lupta dharma artha sangraha, dosha dosha paritatma. All these are happened because of anger. Yaktam loka vinashana. Everything is become unfortunate and everything got destroyed. So this is all Hanuman and Valmiki also uses this. So anyway, I was talking about Bhagavad Gita. So let me go there now. In Bhagavad Gita, there are 6 places where there are bad aspects of Krodha being mentioned. We all know it. I'll quickly read it. Kama yesha Krodha yesha rajoguna samudbhavaha mahashano mahapapma viddiyena miha vairinam. Krishna Arjuna asks, Atakena prayuktoyam papam charati purushaha anichanapi vashneya baladeva niyojita. In chapter 3, 36th shloka, this is the reply. Kamayesha krodayesha rajoguna samudbhavaha. It's all because of krodha and kama which comes out of rajoguna. So kamayesha krodayesha rajoguna samudbhavaha mahashanaha. It consumes everything. Mahapapma. It generates a lot of papa. Viddhiyenam iha vairinam. Understand, this is your greatest enemies. Then look at this Daivasura Sampat Adhyaya. There are about 4 of them there. Dambo Darpo Bhimanascha Krodha Parushyameva Ajnanam Chabijatasya Partha Sampadam Asurim. These are Asuri Sampat. Dambaha. Then Darpaha. That manitwa, dambitwa, manitwa, that's what abhimana, abhimanascha, haughtiness, conceit, krodha, parushya, harshness, ajnana, abhijatasya, one who is born with asuri sampat, he will have all these. Asha pasha shatayed baddha kama krodha parayana ihante kama bogartam Anyayena artha sanchayan. Artha sanchayan anyayena. Nyayena anyayena. In all wrong ways, they will earn money. Kama bogartham. Because they want to fulfill their kama boga. And they are all asha pasha satai baddaha. They are so much tied by asha and pasha sataihi. So hundreds of them. Kama Krodha Parayanaha, they are surrendered themselves to Kama and Krodha. It's what Krishna says. It's another reference to Krodha. Then, Ahankaram Balam Darpam Kamam Krodham Cha Samshitaha Mamatma Paradeheshu Pradvishantopya Suyakaha. They have Ahankara, they have strength, they think they have strength out of Ahankara, Darpa, again, conceit, Kama and Krodha. This is all they have. So I am there in Paradeheshu. They are actually doing dvesha of me. Pradvishantaha abhyasuyakaha. They are all with asuya. They are only doing dushana of me when they are treating others badly. That's what Krishna said. Then finally he concluded in Daivasura Sampat, Trividam narakasyedam dwaram nashanam atmanaha Kama krodastata lobha tasmad etatrayam tyajet. Krishna said Kama and Krodha and Lobha, these 3 are the gates for hell. Tribidam narakasya edam dwaram nashanam atmanaha. It will destroy you. It will destroy your vyaktitva. This is where he concluded the Krodha. In fact, there is one more reference which I have not put here. I said there are 6. I put only 5 here. The 6th one is in 2nd chapter. Dhyayate Vishayan Pumsaha Sangasteshu Pajayate Sanga Sanjayate Kamaha Amat Krodho Bijayate Krodad Bhavati Sammoha Sammoha Smriti Vibramaha Smriti Bramshad Buddhinataha Buddhinashaha Buddhinashat Pranashyati. Even that is a bad aspect of Krodha. I have not put it here. So all these in Gita, he has talked about this anger. So if you want to summarize these 6 shlokas into one nice slide, it will be like this. The Krodha, when Krodha starts, if somebody gets anger, absolutely be sure that your Rajoguna is very, very dominant. So if you have to work on the Krodha, you have to work on Rajoguna, not on something else. You have to handle your Rajas. So Rajoguna Adhikyam. First you get dominant with Rajoguna. I'll tell you why. Because if you are dominated by Rajoguna, the first indicator of that is you have a lot of ego. Ahankara Vardhana will happen only when Raja is in great form. So Rajas leads to Ahankara Vardhanam. So Rajoguna Adhikyam leads to Ahankara Vardhanam. All these shlokas, the 7 shlokas can be summarized like this. Then, because of Ahankara, you will have Manitva. You want everybody to respect. You remember in chapter 13 of Bhagavad Gita, he says, Amanitvam, Adambitvam, Ahimsa, Kshanti, Rarjavam, Acharyopasanam, Stairyam, Atma, Vinigraha. 20 values are there. It starts with Amanitvam and Adambitvam. Whereas here, what will happen? Manitvam and Adambitvam, not Amanitvam and Adambitvam. The Ahankara will make you want everybody to respect you. You want to pretend that you are a great person even if you don't have anything. All these comes out of Ahankara. Kama and Krodha. That's what Krishna said. Kama yesha Krodha yesha Rajoguna Samudbhavaha. So it comes out of Ahankara, comes Kama. And so if somebody who gets excessive desire and excessive anger, it clearly means they have too much of Rajoguna and they have too much of ego. That is the meaning of this. Clear indication. You don't have to go around and then look at anywhere. Now, this Manitvam and Dambitvam will only lead to Ashanti. We saw that in chapter 13 of Bhagavad Gita. It only makes people, because people are not going to respect you the way you want. And the moment they said the slightest different thing, it will start disturbing you. You get upset. You feel you have not been respected. So it will only bring Ashanti. It will not bring Shanti. It will not happen. And Kama and Krodha will only bring Buddhi Nasha. That's what I said. Kamat bhavati, mohat bhavati, sammohat bhavati, kamat bhavati sammoha, krodhat bhavati sammoha, sammohat smriti vibramaha, smriti bramshat buddhi nasha. So Kama and Krodha, that's what anyway Valmiki also said. Your buddhi nasha will happen when you have Kama and Krodha. And moment these two forces start operating on an individual, that individual has a greater propensity for dharma lopa. Means they will have a greater chance to be adharmic. Lopa is disappear, lost. Dharma will be lost. The possibility of them doing adharmic things, the propensity, rather than saying possibility, let me use the word propensity. The propensity to do adharmic things will only increase. So Buddhi Nasha and Ashanti will lead you to Dharma Lopa, and the Dharma Lopa will lead to Atma Nasha. Now, I do not know whether you noticed something I should have told. If you look at this slide, the previous slide, you will find always Kama and Krodha are bracketed. You just look at everywhere. Kama and Krodha are actually bracketed all the time. I want you to understand this. A person who has Kama will have Krodha. A person who has Krodha will have Kama. Both are like two sides of the same coin. If one disappears, the other will go. I don't know whether you notice, everywhere in Bhagavad Gita, you have Kama and Krodha almost together. Anyway, then there were about 7 shlokas in which in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna actually talked about what will happen if you remove anger. That also he has spoken. It is all in different chapters. Today we are bringing it to a common theme. These are the shlokas. Dukkeshu anudvigna manaha, sukeshu vigata spruhaha, Dita raga bhaya krodha, stitadihi Munir uchyate Vita Raga Baya Krodha. One who has given up Raga, Baya and Krodha, he will become Stita Dihi. Because in chapter 2 he asks Stita Prajnasya Ka Bhasha. Arjuna asks, who is this Stita Prajna? This is the answer for it. Vita Raga Baya Krodha Stita Dihi. Munihi Uchyate. He is called a Muni. Manana Shilaha Munihi. Then you see, same thing he says again in chapter 4. Vita Raga Baya Krodha Manmayamam Upashitaha Bahavo Jnana Tapasa Puta Madbhavam Agataha. Because they have given up Raga, which is Kama, and Krodha, and Baya, and everything, their mind will be fixed on me. Mam Upashitaha Manmaya Bhavati. They will be always thinking of me, and through Jnana Tapas, many have come like that to me. Puta Madbhavam Bhagavaha Puta Madbhavam Agataha. Then Shaknoti Haiva Yasodum Praksharira Vimokshanat Kama Krododbhavam Vegam Sayukta Sasukenaraha Praksharira Vimokshanat Kama Krodha Udbhavam Vegam. This force that comes up because of Kama and Krodha, before it gets out of the Sharira. Prak means before. Sharira Vimokshana, it gets out of you, start shouting or you do something. Before that, Yaha Sodum, one who is able to control it or handle it, Saha Yuktaha, Sa Sukhi Naraha. He will be the person who has Sukha. Krishna says that. Then Kama Krodha Viyuktanam Yatinam Yata Chetasam Abhito Brahma Nirvanam Vartate Viditatmanam. So those who have been able to handle Kama and Krodha, Viyuktanam, means Yukti is to connect, Viyukti is to disconnect, or be out of the reach of it. Kama Krodha Viyuktanam, they are all yatis, Yata Chetas. They are endearing me in their heart. Abhitaha Brahma Nirvanam Vartate. They will reach Brahma Nirvana finally. That's what Krishna says. Then Yatendriyamano Buddhihi Munir Moksha Parayanaha Vigate Chabaya Krodha Yes Sada Mukta Yevasaha Vigataha Icha Baya Krodha. In other words, Kama, Krodha and Baya are bracketed always. Vigataha, that is gone for somebody. Yaha Vigataha Icha Baya Krodha Saha Sada Mukta Eva. He is always in a state of liberation. Nothing can bind him. Worldly things are not going to affect us. Because for many of us, this is how it affects us. Somebody said something, I get very upset because I have ahankar. I want honor. And they did not recognize me. They did not tell me things are fine. They did not recognize my contribution. And we get upset. So these kinds of things all will go. Ahimsa satyam akrodha tyaga shantirapaishunam daya bhuteshu aloluptam madhavam hrira chapalam. These are all Daivi Sampat. He defines Daivi Sampat where he says akrodha. Look at, he never said Krodha, he said akrodha. Satyam, akrodha, tyagaha, shantihi, apaishunam, all these he said. So the opposite of Krodha is Daivi Sampat, and Krodha was listed under Asuri Sampat, which we saw earlier. Ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodam parigraham vimuchya nirmama shantaha brahma bhuyaya kalpate. He concludes this idea in 18th chapter towards the end. He says ahankara, bala, darpa, kama, krodha and parigraha, means I want this, get attached to, I want this, get attached to everything. Vimuchya means liberate from all that. If we are able to liberate from ahankara, liberate from bala, this false sense of muscle power, liberate from darpa, this this manitva, then kama, liberate from kama, krodha and become aparigraha, not parigraha, aparigraha. Then he says nirmamaha, the ahankara will also go, mamakara will also go. Shantaha Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. He will finally rest in the state of Brahman. This is how he concludes this whole discussion of Krodha. We never realized it. We were studying chapter after chapter. Today we are bringing on a theme, we are pulling from Bhagavad Gita and looking at what it is saying. It is giving us a very nice thread. So Bhagavad Gita also says what happens one to one when he wins over anger. So he will become a Sthitadi, he will become a Yukta, he will be a Sukhi, he will be Sada Muktaha, he will be Shantaha. And because of that, Madbhavamagataha, they will reach unto me, Krishna says. Brahma Nirvanam they will get. Brahma Nirvanam Vartate. Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. I think that sense of becoming Brahman will manifest strongly in them. So this is so much Krishna has said about anger. So which is what I thought I will actually bring here. I want to also show you, because this is a very important subject, we all are subject to it on a day-to-day basis. We need a very heavy dose of these ideas so that we can, make some effort to overcome anger, because there will be a great sadhana. There will be a great spiritual sadhana, because the Dhamma and Shama will come out of it. So Manusmriti, what it says on anger, you just see. Paishunyam sahasam droga irshya suyartha dushanam vagdandajam cha paurushyam krodajopi ganoshtakaha. Krodajaha means one who has anger. Anger is generated in someone. He is the Krodaja. Krodajaha, he has a group of 8, Gana Ashtakaha. There are 8 of them which goes along with anger. What are that? Paishunyam. Paishunyam, Pishunam. Pishunam is talking ill of somebody, trying to damage somebody's feelings and so on. It's called Pishuna. Paishunyam. Sahasam, too much of haste. Droha, deceit, cheating. Irshya, jealousy. Asuya, greed. Artha dushanam. Insincerity while dealing with, artha. Vag, dandajam. Paurushyam. So he hurts people or punishes people with very harsh words. Paurushyam. All these are the 8 companions of anger, which is what Manusmriti says. This is actually in Mahabharata, in Adi Parva. This shloka is there in one of the sargas, some 70th sarga somewhere, I don't remember. I actually searched, I could not locate it, but I know it is in Adi Parva. When I googled, I found it. Putro bhrityas suhrun mitram bharya dharmascha satyata tasyaitanyapayaasyanti krodashilasya nischitam. Krodashila, one who is adept in getting anger. See what kind of Shila is used for Krodha. The Shaili is used for Krodha. Somebody who is very adept in getting angry, what will happen? He says so many people will leave. They will just leave. Who? Putra. Putraha. Putraha. Okay. Bhrutyaha. Servants. See, you can't, just because you are paying salary, you can't be shouting all the time at the lady or the around she will say, get lost. Enough. Enough is enough. I don't need this money. So Bhrutyaha. The servants will also go. Suhrit. Well-wishers will get angry again and again. The well-wisher will continue to be a well-wisher, but he'll go away because this is too much of a, caste. Mitram. Friends will go away. Bharya. Even the wife will distance. Not only that, the dharma will also distance. Satya will also distance. Dharmascha satyascha. Tasya etani apayasyanti. They go away. They go away. Krodashilasya nischitam. Very powerful messages here, as you see both in Manusmriti and here. One more Subhashita, which I could lay my hands on. Santapam tanute binati vinayam sauhardamutsadayati udveham janayatyavadyavachanam sute bidatte kalim kirtim krintanti durmatim vitarati vyahanti punyodayam Datte yakkugatim sahatum uchito roshasa doshasatam. It says santapam tanute. What will anger do? That's what it is saying. Santapam tanute. It only causes distress. Okay, santapa, mental distress, whatever. Binatti vinayam. It just destroys vinaya. Then sauhardam utsadayati. Actually, usadayat yutvegam. There it ends with ikara. Sauhardam utsadayati. In sandhi, very, that is a yan sandhi. That's called yan sandhi. Eco energy is what it is. There's a ikara there. Okay. Sauhardam utsadayati. Friendship will all just go away. Udvegam janayati. It only creates more stress actually. Udvegam janayati. Again, it's a yan sandhi. Then avadya vachanam sute. It throws out unutterable words. Vidatte kalim. Okay, it gives rise to a lot of differences. Kirtim krintati. It takes away your kirti. Your fame will be cut. Durmatim vitarati. It spreads this wickedness all. Vyahanti punyodayam. All the good karma that we collected will all go. Dattehe yaha kugatim. His gati will become kugati. He'll have a horrible death. That's what they have, sort of translated. Kugati means they get into, they get destroyed themselves. Kumarga kugati. Roshaha as a dosha satam. So always this dosha will, and Rosha and dosha will only do all these to people. Anyway, I don't too much on anger. I think we'll have to get out of this now. One more, Vishnu Puranam. Sanchitasyapi mahata vatsakleshena manavaihi yashasastapasachaiva krodho nashakara paraha. Sanchitasyapi mahata sanchitasyapi vatsa. I don't know who is being addressed here. Kleshena manavaihi. With great difficulty, with great effort, whatever was collected. What was collected? Yasha and tapas. That's there in the second line. Yashasaha tapaschaiva. Krodho nashakaraha paraha. The anger will actually eat away, destroy all of them. So if you look at Subhashita, there are a lot of Subhashitas on anger. That's why, in Sandhya Vandana, when people are supposed to do Sandhya Vandana, 3 times a day when they have to do, there's one important mantra. It is called Kama Akarshin, Manura Akarshin, Namo Namaha, Kama Karoti Naham Karomi, Kama Karta Naham Karta, Kama Karayita, Naham Karayita, Manyu Karoti Naham Karomi, Manyu Karta, Manyu Karayita, Naham Karayita, like that. This anger and Kama and Krodha are always pair. That's why Kamo Karshin, Manura Karshin, Japa has to be done. Akarshin. You pray and say, please go away. That's why all these are part of our practices. Anyway, we will continue. So the 56th Sarga. So Hanuman was fortunately happy, although he thought he destroyed things. Then he realized he was not destroyed. So he thought he will see Sita Mata once quickly and then go back once and for all to report to Rama. So 34 verses. First 8 verses, Hanuman briefly meets Sita and takes leave of her to return back. Next 12 shlokas, description of the beauty of the Arishta mountain, which Hanuman ascends for departure. And the other side was Mahendra Parvata. Here it is Arishta mountain. Okay. Then the next 14 shlokas, Hanuman takes off towards the northerly direction from Arishta mountain. There are a lot of alankaras. There is a lot of nice prayogas being a kavya. So I'm not getting into any shlokas here. Just wanted to tell you what is happening. 57th Sarga is again this beautiful return journey is being described. Poetic description of Hanuman's return journey. There are these 14 verses. There is very nice description of the, an aerial view. Aerial view of the ocean and the mountain and so on. Those are all there in those 14 shlokas. Then you have about 16 shlokas. With a roaring sound, Hanuman lands at Mahendra mountain. Vanaras are very happy to see him back. All those are described there. And then next 21 shlokas, Hanuman very briefly reports samkshepena, drishteti Sita samkshepena, like that. So says, and then actually Jamban also makes a prize of Hanuman. Angada also makes a prize of Hanuman. Vanaras are very happy. But at the end of the Sarga, the Vanaras are saying, we would like to know the details. Please tell us. You have simply said you have seen Sita, which is fine. But can you tell us in some detail? So that's going to be the next Sarga. Anyway. So Jambavan's remarks on Hanuman. Sarvata kritakaryosav Hanuman natra samshayah nahyasya kritakaryasya nada evam vido bhavet. That is what it says. Sarvata kritakaryaha asau Hanuman na atra samshayah. He says that Hanuman, Jambavan says, na atra samshayah, there is no doubt at all, there is no iota of doubt. These are all Hanumat Prashamsha, you will see a great deal in Sundarakanda, and it continues also. Okay, he has done a great job. Sarvata, always, Kritakaryaha. Kritakaryaha is one who is always a person who can accomplish anything, is called Kritakaryaha. So asau Hanuman Kritakaryaha. Sarvata na atra samshayah. Jamban says that. Nahi asya, padacheda is like that for second line. Nahi asya akritakaryasya nada evam vido bhavet. Because nahi asya akritakaryasya. I don't think he is akritakarya. Because if he has not accomplished the task, he will not make this kind of a noise. See, they were saying, when Hanuman was coming, he was making a big roar. So the Vanaras were asking, what is this? At that time, Jambavan says, if he has come unsuccessfully, he will not make this noise. Nadaha evam vido na bhavet. Nadaha, the sound that he is making, na evam vido bhavet. Asya akritakarya, if somebody has failed miserably in a mission, they will not make noise like this. Only a kritakarya will make it. Akritakarya will not make it. Therefore, Jambavan says, no, Hanuman, I know about Hanuman. It is only Hanuman who has come. That is the sound we are all hearing. Tamabragana sankasham apatantam mahakapim drishtva te vanara sarve tastu pranjalayastada tam abragana sankasham apatantam mahakapim. All are in Dvitiya Vibhakti. So everything is related to one another. Tam, that person. Mahakapim, tam mahakapim. Abra, abra means water. Gana, gana is the cloud. So cloud, water bearing cloud, rain bearing cloud. Abra gana sankasham, he was like a rain bearing cloud. Now, why is a rain bearing cloud? Rain bearing cloud brings prosperity. That is the usage. Whenever we use rain bearing cloud, that means that event is bringing prosperity, goodness. Rain is so important for us. The monsoon is just starting actually. So tam abragana sankasham apatantam, one who is actually jumping, falling down or whatever. Apatantam mahakapim drishtva, having seen him. Te vanaraha, sarve te vanaraha, all those vanaras, tastuhu, they were standing, right? Pranjalayastata, pra anjalayastata. They were holding their hands like this, folded hands with Anjali Mudra. They were all standing there. Because it would have been it's a very important moment. Imagine what happened at the end of Kishkinda Kanda. They were all wanting to, pranopayasa. So they wanted to, be under fasting. That's what they wanted to. Now that event has changed. That's why they are all standing with folded hands like this. That's a description of that scenario. Satabhyam pujita pujyah kapibischa prasaditah drishtva siteti vikrantah samkshepena nyavedayat. Saha tabhyam pujitah. Tabhyam is dvivachanam. So two people have sung the praise of Hanuman. Who are they? Jambavan and Angada. Tabhyam pujitah saha pujyah kapibihischa prasaditah. One who was also did the prasamsa, who got the prasamsa of all the other kapis also. Kapibischa prasaditah. Hanuman, Pujyaha, Saha, Hanuman. What did he say? Drishtva Siteti. Vikrantaha is also about Hanuman. All these are adjective for the Pratama Vibhakti. Drishta Siteti Samkshepena Nevedayate. This is a very nice usage. When you have to, when people are very anxiously waiting for information, some people doesn't know this knack. When people are anxiously waiting for information, they keep telling all kinds of, this happened, I went there. So suppose, let us say a jewel was lost and, we were searching. Then somebody said, no, I think I found it in the Kalyana Mandap you went. I think somebody told there was a jewel like that. So let's say this person was asked to go and get the jewel. So this person goes there. He actually got the jewel. He comes back. Imagine, as soon as he comes, they'll ask, what happened? Imagine this fellow saying, no, I actually took my scooter. The scooter was not starting. I was kicking it for some time. The scooter was not starting. So finally, I decided to take an auto. First auto did not stop. He is going to tell finally that I got the jewel. That's not the way. On very important information, you have to first tell the information. So this person, what you should say? You should come and say, yes, I got the jewel. Don't worry, we have got the jewel. Most people do it. Some people don't do it. They don't have the knack of saying that. So in the same way, Hanuman did not get into all those details. He straight away said, Drishta Siteti, Sita iti, Samkshepena Nyavedayate. He very quickly, very concisely, he mentioned that I have seen Sita. So in this chapter, he says that. So the chapter ends by saying, all that is told. And then there are a few more shlokas after this, in which the vanaras are asking, can you please tell? Now people want to know. Now that they know Sita is found, now they are interested in knowing. So the vanaras are asking, please tell me, how did you go? How did you see her? How is she? What happened? That is required. So the next sarga, 58th sarga, is all about that. If you remember, the first sarga of Sundarakandam is very big. Hanuman's crossing of the ocean, about 210 shlokas or something. This 58th sarga is also very huge, 168, 170 shlokas, I think. Why? Because entire Sundarakandam is narrated. Anyway, I'm going to skip the next 4 or 5 sargas because there isn't tatparya there. Of course, there is a story. But anyway, I'll tell you what is there in those. But before that, this Angada's praise of Hanuman. Jambavan praise we saw. This is Angada's praise. Satve virye nate kaschit samo vanara vidyate yeda vaplutya vistirnam sagaram punaragataha. Satve virye nate kaschit. All these are sambodhana. he is looking at Hanuman and say, hey Satve, one who has a lot of Sat, who is Satvik also and who has a lot of substance. Sat means substance, Satvik also. Satve he virye he te na kaschit samaha. Hey Vanara, Vanara is also Sambodhana. So Vanara, te, Vanara, virye, Satve, all these are Samana, adjectives. They are all Sambodhana on Hanuman. Hey Vanara, na kaschit te samaha vidyate. There's nobody who is equal to you. Angada is saying, hey Hanuman, hey Vanara, I'm telling you, there is nobody who is equal to you. Yet avaluptya, vistirnam sagaram avaluptya, this broad, huge ocean, you have been able to cross and you have come back also. Punaragataha. Nobody can do it. There's nobody who is equal to you, is what Angada says. Aho swaminite bhaktihi, aho viryam aho dhritihi, dishtya drishta tvaya devi, Rama patni yashashvini, dishtya tyakshatika kustaha, shokam Sita viyogajam. Aho swamini te bhaktihi. Swamini te bhaktihi aho. Your devotion to Rama is advitiyam. It's unheard of. Not only that, aho swamini te bhaktihi, aho viryam, aho dhritihi. What kind of a valor you have, what kind of steadfastness and that firmness that you have, fortitude that you have, right? And all the courage and everything is so admirable. He says, dishtya. Dishtya means luckily, or it's a matter of happiness. It's a very happy thing. Dishtya. Dishti means happy, happiness, or happy thing. Dishtya tvaya devi ramapatni yashasvani drishta. It is fortunate, it's a happy thing that you are able to see Ramapatni yashasvini devi. Tvaya drishta, by you. It's a, it's a passive voice. By you, she was seen. Dishtya, it is also a happy matter. It is fortunate. What? Kakutstaha sokam tyakshati. Also, it is a very happy matter because now Rama will give up his shoka. And how did the shoka come? Sita viyogajam. The shoka which arised out of the separation of Sita, you have put an end to that also. You have done such a great thing. Is what Angada's praise of Hanuman. As I told you, 58th Sarga is the entire Sundarakandam in one Sarga. If you are not able to read Sundarakandam, you can read this. It is really just like the first Sarga in Balakandam. In first Sarga of Valmiki Ramayana is called Samkshepa Ramayana. 100 shlokas, the entire Ramayana is uttered there. The same way, this 166 verses in Sarga 58 is the complete Sundarakandam retold in a concise way. So if any of you want to start reading Sundarakandam and you are not very sure whether you can really have such a long haul, start with Sarga 58 for a year. The Rama's blessing will come and you will be able to read the Sundarakandam next year. There are only 166 verses. Please read it and then it will get you into a larger thing. So anyway, Hanuman, since they asked how did you go, what happened, he narrates everything. Right from the Mainaka Parvata, Simhika, Urasamata, then Lankini, then he walking on the street, everything he says. He saw sitting on the Simshupa, everything. How he destroyed the Ashokavana, how he was afraid that Sita Mata was lost, then he checked everything. Up to the previous Sarga, he says everything in 166 verses. Then the question is, what do we do now? So in the 59th Sarga, Hanuman actually proposes. They are all telling different things. Angada says, I can go and destroy. Our forces can go and finish everything and bring back Sita Mata. Then Hanuman says, no, it is not like that. That's not how it is going to be. Let's go, because Sita Mata could have done all that. She wants Rama to come. So let's So the best thing for us to immediately go and see. Actually, we should take steps in that fashion. Then there is a 60th Sarga. I find 3 books in which there are 3 number of verses. IIT Kanpur Valmiki Ramayana has only 6 verses. Another version I found which had 14 verses. And Gita Press, I think, which is probably the Bombay Critical Edition based, that has 19 verses. Anyway, this is one Sarga where there is a lot of interpolation, I think. But anyway, the message here is Jamban says, let's all start immediately. Let's go back to where Sugriva and Rama and Lakshmana are there, and we will report. That is 60th Sarga. And 61st Sarga is, as they go back, there is one Madhuvana. It's a beautiful orchard, which Vali and Sugriva, it's very close to their heart. And one Dadimukha, who is Sugriva Vali's uncle. I think Matulaha, maternal uncle, I think. He is in charge of that. He is vouchsafing that it's a very beautiful orchard. So when they go back, the vanaras are saying, we want to enter that. You know, in Kannada Bhasha, they say, enjoy madi. So, you know, I was very amused when I read this Sarga 61 and 62, because I thought what is happening today is happening during Ramayana time. See, the hard work was done by Rama, to a large extent by Hanuman. These people are all going with them. These people are all what is called moral support. You know, there are a lot of people to give you moral support. Sometimes you don't need moral support. You need actual physical and other kind of support. So these vanaras were only giving moral support. They were going along with them. The real work was done by Hanuman. But now the vanaras want to enjoy as though they have achieved the target. That is the amusing part when I read it. So they asked Hanuman, they asked Hanuman, can we, so we have done a very great work, you know, we are all very tired, Alva. So let us have some, you know, let's get in and have some enjoy madi. So Angada also permits and Hanuman also permits, Jamban also permits. So all these vanaras enter in and they do a rampage of they are partying. Work is done by somebody, partying is done by all others. You know, that's what I felt when I read it. It was amusing actually. 61st Sarga. Anyway, I'll take a shloka or two from 59th Sarga. Sapalo Ragavodyogah Sugrivasya cha Sambramah Sheelamasadya Sitayah Mama cha Pravanam Manah. Hanuman says, when they were talking in 59th Sarga, what has to be done? At that time, Hanuman only said, no, we should not, because initially they were all saying, Gada said, I will go and destroy Nala, Neela. Everybody said, they were thumping their desk and say, I will do it. That kind of things. Hanuman said, it is not like that. Look at here. Raghava Udyoga. The effort of Raghava, right from Janasthana, has become Sapala. Sugrivasya Sambramaha. The enthusiasm and the endeavor that Sugriva put also, that also Sapalaha. Sheelam Asadya, Sitayaha Sheelam Asadya. It's also because of this great Sita's contact. Because of all that only, all these Sapalaha Jataha. This is the humility of Hanuman. He said it's because of all these. See, yesterday I was actually giving another talk, you know, in that Foundations of Sanatana Dharma, I was making this point. See, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Balam balavatam chaham tejas tejasvinamaham. The point is, the success in life, when we achieve something, Hanuman has achieved something very big here. That's why in the context I'm saying. Sometimes we achieve some great success. You know, we lead a project team, you know, we took something in the institution and really achieved it. The question is, what should be the frame of mind at that time? The vast majority of people, all unrefined. We are all like that, you know, we are work in progress. Okay. When a great success happens, for a vast majority of people, it is an occasion for the ahankara to go. I have done it. It's hard work. I have put enormous effort. Of course, my team members, some people are little, I mean, it is for the team also. Oh, no, you know, my team worked very well. It's all team effort. That's slightly better. Correct? That's okay for a purpose of motivation and so on. But the moot point is, we should, when great success happens, we should remember tejas tejasvinamaham balam balavatam cha. In other words, the greatest success happens, it is a spark of divinity radiating through you, or radiating through me. We should have that kind of a thinking. That kind of a thinking is a refined mind. That's what Hanuman is doing here. Hanuman is saying, no, it is not because of me. It's the greatness of these three people. It's all the effort of Raghava. It is the effort of thing and this greatness of Sita Mata. He says, Mamacha pravanam manaha. My praise of Sita, my respect for her also, orders of magnitude increased, is what Hanuman. So it's a humility. When great success happens, if you say it is an action, it is a spark of divinity. I am happy to be an instrument for the divinity to flow out. That's a very refined way of understanding life. That's a high point of character. That is to say, no, it's all because of me and all that. Because of a team member, we can say. At least we can motivate them and so on. If you say it is because of me, it is our ahankara and darpa. What we saw a little earlier. Tasyatam sprishato gatram tapasa na vinashitam natad agnishika kuryat samsprishta panina sati janakasyatmaja kuryat yat krodha kalushikrita tasya tam sprishatah gatram tapasana vinashitam. Tam gatram, her limbs, right? Sprishatah, Ravana touched her hand. Sprishatah tasya na vinashitam tapasa. That fellow had a little tapas that only protected him at that point in time. Tasyatam sprishatah gatram tapasa na vinashitam. Then natat agnishika kuryat samsprushta panina sati. If anybody touches Janakasya Atmaja, who is none other than Sita, Janakasya Atmaja panina samsprushta Janakasya Atmaja, she is agnishika. I mean, she can just kuryat yat krodha kalushi krita. With her fire, she can burn everything. But she did not. Hanuman is telling this. She did not. Why? Because she wanted Rama to come. That's what she told Hanuman also when Hanuman said, I will take you back to Lanka. Back to, where Rama is. Sita said, no, that's not how it is going to be. Ramasya sadrisham bhaved. Yati saha agachati saha Ramasya sadrisham bhaved. There was one shloka which we saw. So that he recalls here. Hanuman says, no, let us not do anything. Because that's not what Sita Mata's desire is. Let's go. And immediately meet Rama. Sarka 62, Dadimukha goes to report to Sugriva. Because, these people have done a rampage of Madhuvana. I mean, you should read it. That chapter is, rivaling with the chapter where Ravana was partying. Of course, here there was no Dharmalopa. Not ladies and gents mixing and all that kind of things are not there, but they were overeaten, they were all enjoying, and then they just dropped off on the ground. When some people came and then tried to stop them from eating, they beaten them, and then unmattaha sarve unmatta bhutaha. Therefore they have lost their balance. They chase them, beaten them, throw stones at them, and then all that. So the Dadimukha, he doesn't know what to do because he is accountable, and it is so close to the heart both for Vali and Sugriva. So Sugriva is going to punish Dadimukha very heavily, definitely. So what happens in this Sarga, 40 verses, the first 17 verses, vanaras are on a rampage of Madhuvana. They attacked and chased the gods when they came and tried to tesham nivaranam kartum idi prayatnah kritah. Tesham nivaranam kritavantah. They chased them away. So those are described in those first 17 shlokas. Then Dadimukha and his gods miserably failed in preventing the vanaras from rampaging Madhuvana. They tried, but it was simply not. Even Dadimukha was beaten up, and because they bring uproot trees and then hit at them, and all kinds of mini war more or less happens. So now, therefore, Dadimukha had no other option. He told his group of guards, no, let us, I don't think we are going to, stop this nonsense that is going on. Let's go and tell Sugriva this is what is happening. So they, last 10 shlokas, they just go to the place where Sugriva is, where Rama and Lakshmana are there. They want to go there and report that Madhuvana is being damaged by a group of vanaras who came from the southern direction. 63rd Sarga. So, in fact, the 63rd Sarga, first two shlokas are interesting. This Dadimukha, after he reached the place where Sita, actually not Sita, Rama and Lakshmana were sitting, Sugriva was sitting there. As soon as Dadimukha comes there, what he does is he straight goes and falls on the feet of Sugriva and catches his feet. He is his maternal uncle, but that's different. Here he is, working for him. So Sugriva asks, what is the matter? Bhadramastute. You get up, what is the issue? First he said, let good things happen. That's what they do it. When he said that good things happen, then they cannot tell the wrong things even if they are unhappy with him. Then Dadimukha says, this is what happened. There are these, vanaras which are all come from the southerly direction, and they have just gotten onto a rampage. They are just eating these fruits and drinking this honey and all kinds of things they are doing. So, so they are conversing, and Lakshmana asks Sugriva, what is going on here? What is the issue? Then Sugriva says, no, they describe that there is a lot of damage that is being done by these vanaras, which they have come from a southerly direction. But I can tell you that means there is some good news. If it is a bad news, they will not do all this. Looks like it is partying at the end of reaching the objective, like that. So I think he tells Rama and Lakshmana, my own guess is, I think it is good news. They must have seen Sita, that's why they are doing all that. So he tells Dadimukha, no problem, let them do whatever they want. Bring them immediately here. Don't do any harm to them. You bring them here. That is the instruction that Sugriva gives to Dadimukha. Rama and Lakshmana are obviously happy. You see two shlokas. Here again Hanumat Prashamsa. Wherever you go, you will find that Hanuman is celebrated. That's why Hanuman is a great inspiration for us. Nahyan yasadane hetuhu karmanosya hanumataha karya siddhir matischaiva tasmin vanara pungave vyavasayascha viryam cha shrutam chapi pratishtitam. Look at what he is saying. Na hi anyaha nahyanyah. He again means indeed. Na hi anyaha sadhane hetuhu. Asya karmanosya asya karmanaha. Asya karmanaha sadhane hetuhu na hi anyaha hanumataha. I think this, first of all, he said, I think Sita Mata has been located and none other than Hanuman would have done it. This is what Sugriva is saying. Nahi anyaha sadhane hetuhu. The reason, the cause for this accomplishment of this task, sadhana, the cause for the accomplishment of this task is none other than Hanuman. Why? Then he says, Karya siddhi matihi. Karya siddhihi matischaiva tasmin vanara pungave. Why, you know why I am saying Hanuman? He has Karya siddhi. He is a kritakritya. He has a capability to accomplish whatever you give. He has that kind of a special skill of success in execution. So Karya siddhihi matischaiva, because he has that mati. He has the presence of mind and wisdom and the capacity. Karya siddhi is the capacity, mati is the wisdom. So he has that capacity and the wisdom, right? Tasmin and all the effort and so on. Tasmin Vanara Pungave. In that, in him, all these are there. Not only that, Vyavasayascha. See, Vyavasaya is continuous effort. That's why agriculture is called Vyavasayi. I tell you, agriculture is the most difficult thing. You need to be a Vyavasayi. Means you have to put faith and do. You can't, like corporate people, it's very hard. Suddenly one rain will come and it will wipe off everything. Many of the forces a Vyavasayi faces are Adi Daivikam, Adi Bhauktikam, that kind of a thing. You can't do much about it. That's why it's called Vyavasayi. It's a continuous effort with a good faith that the result will come. That's called Vyavasaya Buddhi. Vyavasayascha Viryamcha. He has that vitality. He has the power to do it. He will not give up that easily. Shrutamcha. These, enthusiasm to accomplish it. All these are Pratishtitam. These are all well established in none other than Hanuman. And that is why Hanuman would have achieved, none other than Hanuman would have actually achieved this. That's what Sugriva also praises Hanuman. Then, Jambavan tatra neta syat angatascha mahabalaha Hanuman chapyadishtata natasya gatiranyata. Jambavan yatra neta syat Angadascha Mahabalaha Hanumancha. The Hanumancha, that Nakara will actually will become Makara, and a Sakara will come. Because of the Sakara, the Cha will become Scha. All these are, those rules of Sandhi. So Hanuman will become Hanumamscha. Hanumamscha api. There are three. I'll do a padacheda here. Hanuman cha api adishtata. So those are the words there. Hanuman cha api adishtata natasya gatihi anyata gatiranyata. This is a padachedam there. So Jambavan yatra neta syat, where Jambavan is the neta, Angadascha Mahabalaha, where this great powerful Angada is also there, Hanumanscha api adishtata, where Hanuman is also is the substratum, who is the rock bottom of all, who is the firm bottom of all these, substratum, adishtata. If such a kind of a thing is there, Natasya gatihi anyata. How can the result can be anything else? There cannot be any other possible result other than this. So this is what Sugriva says. He also makes a great praise of Hanuman. Of course, he also says Jambavan and Angada and Hanuman is a winning combination. Therefore, he says Sita ought to have been seen by them. That is why they are all partying in Madhuvana. So he tells Dadimka, don't worry. It's all right. You just go and only don't disturb them. Ask them to come immediately. So the next sarga, they are going to come and meet. I think we will stop here today. We have reached 63 sargas. There are 5 more sargas in Sundarakandam, which makes it 68. There is not much tatparya in these 5 sargas. There is the storyline and so on. Anyway, next week we will quickly finish Sundarakandam. Maybe I will do a little summary of the Sundarakanda, and with that we will complete Sundarakandam next week, and then we will take the last Kanda, Yuddha Kanda. I am not going to go to Uttarakanda. So the Sampradaya is not to, go for Uttarakanda. If you want, you can read later. But I will complete Valmiki Ramayana with only Yuddha Kanda. So anyway, next week will be the last session of Sundarakandam. We will tell the Mangala Shloka and we will close the day. Swasti prajabhya paripalayantam nyayena margena mahim mahishaha go brahmanebhyo shubhamastu nityam loka samasta sukhino bhavantu kale varshatu parjanyah prithvi sasya shalini deshoyam kshobarahito brahmana santu nirbhayah aputra putrinas santu पुत्रिणः सन्तु पौत्रिणः अधना सधना सन्तु जीवन्तु शरदां शतं शृण्वन् रामायणं भक्त्या यः पादं पदमेव वा स यान्ति ब्रह्मणस्थानं ब्रह्मणा पूज्यते सदा। हरि